hazy, a storm on the horizon. The pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind.
Emergency Management Associates.
We're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities.
We're making an impact.
Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Should we get this show on the road, guys? Emergency Management Associates is on the air. We're ready to go, guys. We're here for you all the time. How about that, guys? We're here. We're not going away. We're always here. Whenever you need us, we're on the air. Whenever anything happens, guys, we're on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Always and forever, that's been the case. It's not going away. Not ever going away. Ever. That means never. Okay? That means absolutely never. The first thing I want to talk about tonight is not that good. Okay? The first thing I want to talk about is soldiers that were shot in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. Let's talk about this.
Right now at 10, a National Guard member has passed away after that ambush right outside a D.C. metro station just blocks from the White House. Plus, the investigation into the suspect behind the attack expanding coast to coast. What we are learning about the accused shooter. Fox 5 News at 10 starts right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Homa Bash. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thanksgiving. And we begin with tragic news. President Trump announcing that 20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom has passed away after that ambush attack near the Farragut West metro station.
Outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now.
The other victim, Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, remains in the hospital in critical condition. Investigators say the suspect, 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakanwal, an Afghan national, drove from Washington State to allegedly carry out the attack. The Trump administration says the shooting has prompted a full review of all asylum cases approved under the Biden administration.
The monster that did this is also in serious condition, but we won't even talk about him. As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national flown here by the previous administration.
And we have team coverage for you tonight with one National Guard member dead, another in critical condition after that ambush just blocks from White House. Fox 5's Syed Abbas is out in West Virginia learning about those victims. Our Nana Sentubonsu with the latest on the suspect, an Afghan national with ties to the CIA. But we start with our Julie Donaldson covering the newest details right outside the White House.
It was a very different scene here just 24 hours ago as there was a heavy police presence as investigators worked the scene where two National Guardsmen were shot right here at the Farragut West metro stop. And now, just over 24 hours later, we are mourning the loss of one of those service members.
Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person. Started service in June of 2023. Outstanding in every way. She's just passed away.
Somebody drove across the country, came to Washington, D.C. to attack America. And that person will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
That person is 29-year-old Ramanullah Lakhanwal, an Afghan national who came to the U.S. under Operation Allies in 2021. Authorities say he lives in Bellingham, Washington, and he drove cross-country to carry out what was a targeted attack. In a press conference held earlier this morning, U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro said that they were ready to escalate the charges to murder in the first degree, should the guardsman not survive. Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old and still fighting for his life is 24-year-old Andrew Wolf. Now, they were on this mission since August 20th and were deputized less than 24 hours before the shooting to maintain their status to conduct these presence patrols. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey released a statement that reads in part, "Today, we honor Sarah's bravery and her sacrifice as we mourn the loss of a young woman who gave everything she had in defense of others."
Okay, 21-year-old woman died in defense of others. Let's remember that. Sarah Beckstrom from Virginia was a great woman. She joined the National Guard when she was 17. 3 years later, she's dead, protecting the United States of America, not overseas on a foreign battlefield, but here in the United States. Incredible. Completely and outright incredible. I would never have thought that one of our military members would be shot and killed on duty protecting our own country. Incredible. As was said, the gunman came from Washington State, drove across the country to commit this horrendous act. Incredible. I want to tell you another story I just found out about earlier today. A Washington State Patrol officer, while on duty, stopped a vehicle driven by an Afghan driver in a similar circumstance. Came to this country in 2021. He brought his family there. Because of what he has done prior to the police officer stopping him, he was unable to keep a job. And as a result, the car he was driving was unlicensed. Washington State revoked his driver's license and revoked his car license as well, because he could not keep up on the payments and could not keep up on his insurance either. So they stopped it. The Washington State Patrol had an officer on duty that pulled over his car while he was driving. That Afghani had a gun on his seat. During the traffic stop, several times during the traffic stop, the officer observed him going for his gun. Several times he put it back down on the seat. Then the Afghani man said he was going to use it. The police officer called for backup. 3 other officers arrived to help back him up. Then the officer told him that his buddies had gotten there to back him up, to help the Afghan man understand the charges that were against him. It was at that point in time the Afghani opened fire on the police officers. Unreal. He told the police officers that he was there as a result of the United States ineptness helping to support him. The Afghan man said the United States owed him a living so he could support his family. They owed him a car, which they bought for him. They owed him money so he could pay his bills. I'm sorry to say, you Afghanis, you Islamic people from another country, if you don't assimilate into this country, get out. Or let ICE, Immigration's Customs Enforcement, escort you out of this country. You don't belong here. And you killed one of our United States citizens. Now that man is being held in custody in a hospital because during his altercation with these 2 service members, he was also shot. He shot Sarah Beckstrom in the leg and then in the face. Early Thanksgiving morning, her father released a statement saying that she had received wounds where she wasn't going to survive. Her father said he was holding her hand at the time. Just after 12 noon yesterday, she passed away as a result of one of these illegal aliens. One of these illegal aliens entered her life. Unreal. Shot in cold blood. This has happened before all over this country. Sonic Popo says, howdy y'all from Bolton, Texas, Fort Hood area. Over in Fort Hood years ago, we had another shooting, again with an illegal alien. Illegal alien on board a Army station. He shot up that station. These people have gotten access to places in this country where they never should have gotten. Incredible. Again, I'm going to state it again. Those of you that may be seeing this program, know that we are coming for you. Our law enforcement agents from Immigration Customs Enforcement, Border Protection, and the FBI and the Secret Service, and ATF, and also Drug Enforcement. We will be coming for you. You need to give yourselves up. You need to give yourselves up. If you don't belong here, give yourselves up and be deported. You don't belong here. ICE has also instituted a program in Minneapolis and in Dearborn, Michigan. They're rounding up illegal aliens there. Illegal aliens that don't belong there. Sad day. Very, very sad day. Guys, I'm very sad today that this young woman has lost her life as a result of illegal immigration. That's what it boils down to. I've talked about it until I'm blue in the face, and I'm going to continue talking about it until we come to resolve that this isn't going to happen again. I'm a former law enforcement agent myself. I served 24 years in law enforcement in the field, doing my job. If I had it to do over again, I'd be right back there. But lucky for me, I cannot ever put a uniform back on. Lucky for them, I can't. Because I would be on the line with those agents going around and rounding these people up. Unreal. Unreal. Yes, that person at Fort Hood was a Army major, counseling our soldiers. Unreal. Incredible. Again, I pay my respects to Sarah Beckstrand. God bless her family and those that loved her and all those that she loved as well. Rest in peace, ma'am. Do know that you are loved and you will be missed. And thank you for your service. Now, those of you that know me know that I have wished you a happy Thanksgiving before this. Yesterday, my wife and I ate dinner. We ate dinner. We ate a great dinner. She and I prepared. This was our dinner. USGS pumpkin pie that I made Wednesday night. See those rolls there? You see our Thanksgiving salad in the green Jello salad dish there. You see mashed potatoes that Carol made. Green beans, cranberries, turkey meat up near the top of the picture, and just to the right of that are Thanksgiving stuffing. Incredible. Today we not only just had sandwiches, we had turkey sandwiches, and I had stuffing on top of the sandwich. Unreal. It was a great sandwich. Guys, I encourage you to keep celebrating Thanksgiving long after yesterday. Celebrate Thanksgiving for long after yesterday. Days and weeks from now. As we give thanks for everything we have, up and through and including Christmas. Give thanks. Give thanks for your families. Give thanks for everything you have, because the Lord has given it to us. The Lord has given it to us. I now want to talk about earthquakes. Let's go up to Alaska. On Wednesday evening, USGS reported a 6.0 earthquake 37 miles northwest of Anchorage, Alaska. Well, guess what? It was larger than that. It was much larger than that. But the fact of the matter is, USBS has no clue. I'm telling you, USBS has no clue. I've done my research. When I went to pull the information, I went to the back seismology study page. There it said that they did not release details of the earthquake. They did not release details of the earthquake. Over 162 stations reporting, and they didn't release any seismograph readings. None. Guys, this was at least a 6.2 earthquake, not a 6.0. This was at least a 6.2 earthquake, 20 times larger, 20 times more powerful. We continue to have these earthquakes around the globe, literally around the globe. This was a 6.2 earthquake, and you see here all of the aftershocks that have been recorded since then. Look at all these aftershocks, and they continue. They continue. These are not all the aftershocks either. If I was to show you all the aftershocks from this earthquake, it would blow your mind. USGS has only shown you a handful of those, literally. This looks like a lot of earthquakes. Yes, it is. But comparatively, this is only a handful of the aftershocks. We're not being told the full story. Not at all. I don't think we'll ever see the full story. Let me show you the last 7 days. Let me enlarge this so you can truly see what I'm showing. Look at this. All over Alaska, including over in the Aleutian Islands. Look at that. This is close to 300 earthquakes here. This is close to 300 earthquakes, and this is just in Alaska. Incredible. Let me show you the earthquakes in the American West, the western part of the United States. Look at this. Again, this is only what USGS wants to show us. These are not true figures here. Only what the USGS wants us to tell us about. I went and checked the map earlier today. The United States Geological Survey during the past 7 days have recorded over 1,800 earthquakes during the past 7 days. I call that bull crap as well. As I have reported to you, just in Southern California, from Los Angeles to the north and down to the south at the Mexican border, in 1 day, there's nearly 1,000 earthquakes from LA in the north to the Mexican border in California. Incredible. Just incredible. These are only a handful of earthquakes. Okay? Now, I did see a report earlier today. I saw a report earlier today that says that area around the San Francisco area is ready to pop on the San Andreas Fault. Let's bring up the USGS map here. I want to show you this. Let me take down our EMA banner. Let me take down our webcam, and let's show you what exactly is going on. This is Alaska. Look at all these earthquakes here. Look at all these earthquakes here. Incredible. The western part of the United States. Look at this. Over here in southern Mexico, on a typical day in southern Mexico, there are at least 40 to 42 earthquakes, at least. USGS shows none. None at all. This is one of my examples here. There are 40 earthquakes on a typical day. They show none. Multiply 7 times 40. 2,800 earthquakes a week. 2,800 earthquakes a week in Mexico alone. Southern Mexico alone. They're not reporting them. They're not reporting them. Look at this earthquake here. This earthquake down here in Guatemala happened today. They say it was a 5.8. I'm saying it's a 6.3 earthquake. This is a 6.3 earthquake down here in Guatemala, and it has done damage. This earthquake has done damage here. Just 2 miles west-southwest of Tequeton, Guatemala. 6.3 earthquake. Guys, whenever we have an earthquake in this area, it's on the plate. It's on the top of the plate here. This is going to have a whole effect along this whole region. This is going to have a huge effect on this whole region, guys. That happened today. This earthquake happened at approximately 3:06 p.m. Eastern Time today. Incredible. And they're only showing earthquakes as in the past as these yellow dots. They're not even showing earthquakes today. 12 earthquakes here in Central America. Insane. Out here in the Pacific, on the Central Pacific Rise, this is another 5.1 earthquake. 5.1 earthquake. South America, you're only seeing 3 earthquakes today, brown ones. 5.0 right here, Pampa, Argentina. This is Abra Pampa, Argentina, in the mountains. In the mountains. This is the edge of the South American plate. Edge of the South American plate. Northern Argentina, Chile border region. This is the 4.5. Alicante, Chile, 4.5 quake. This is a 4.5 quake also in Atocha, Bolivia. Again, at the border region of Bolivia and Chile here in northern Chile area. They're not even showing all of earthquakes today. There are approximately 42 earthquakes from southern Chile, Argentina area, Bolivia, going up here into Peru, Brazil here, Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela. They are only showing you the earthquakes they want to talk about. They're not showing you the actual devastation, what's happened. Down here in the South Pacific, right here, this is a 5.6 earthquake. This is a shallow 5.6 earthquake. Earlier this week, we said that there was a 4.5 earthquake down south of Fiji. There was a deep quake that will result in this 5.6 earthquake here today. A shallower, more powerful quake. That's what we have here. Right here to the south, another 4.4 moderate quake here. Northwest of Nyafutonga. This is also a shallow quake, 80 kilometers deep. Out to the west from Tonga, near the area of Leva, Wallace Futuna in the South Pacific. This is a 4.3 earthquake. 4.3 earthquake, moderately deep. This earthquake will not result in a more shallow, stronger quake. This is a moderate 4.3 earthquake. But again, these are not the only earthquakes that have occurred here in the South Pacific. Down here south of New Zealand, this earthquake occurred on the 26th, just 2 days ago. This was another 4.7 moderate earthquake north of Macquarie Island, south of New Zealand. Yesterday, there was a 2.6 earthquake here in southern Australia. 2.6 earthquake. Over here in Western Australia, north of Perth here, there was a 4.6 earthquake. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't 4.6. I'm sorry, it's a 2.7 earthquake. 2.7 earthquake here. Again, USGS is not going to show it. It's as if it didn't exist, but it does, and it will. Over here in eastern Indonesia, this is a 4.4 earthquake in the Banda Sea. A shallow quake is 79 kilometers deep. This is a 5.2. Kepulauan Babar, Indonesia. 5.2 earthquake here. 84 miles deep here. Up here to the northwest, this is a 4.2 earthquake near Ambon, Indonesia. All three of these earthquakes here that I just told you about happened today. These other earthquakes are showing happened earlier this week. But again, there are 28 earthquakes here in Indonesia. They're only showing us 3. They're only showing us 3 earthquakes here in Indonesia. USGS, where are the other earthquakes? Where are the other earthquakes that happened all week long? In some cases, there have been as many as 36 earthquakes in a day here in Indonesia. USGS, where are those earthquakes? They're only telling part of the story. Sumatra, off the coast of Sumatra earlier this week. We told you about this earthquake on Wednesday. This was a 6.6 earthquake. This was a very strong 6.6 earthquake. On the same day as the Alaska quake, 6.6 earthquake here. This is a 5.0, large earthquake. Guys, we continue to see these large and very strong quakes. That's because we've also had an increase in solar activity. We very much have had an increase in solar activity that's ongoing. This is ongoing. These earthquakes will continue. These earthquakes will continue. As we go across the Middle East here, Sari, Iran, S-A-R-I, Iran. This is a 4.0 earthquake the USGS is reporting today. Where are the other earthquakes that have happened here? And why are they not showing? Why are they not showing the 42 aftershocks here in the Turkey-Syria border region that have happened today? And all the other earthquakes that have happened already this week. Where are they? Where are the other earthquakes here in northern Turkey and southern Turkey and central Turkey? Or even over here in western Turkey? 200 to 300 earthquakes a day here in northwestern Turkey. Where are they? Where are they? Earthquakes over here in the Aegean Sea here. Earthquakes have happened north of Greece here, in Crete, Greece. This was a 4.7 earthquake 2 days ago. We talked about this other earthquake on Wednesday, I believe it was. No, I'm sorry, it was on the 21st. This is a 4.4 earthquake, or 4.1 earthquake. No, it was a 4.4 earthquake southwest of Crete, Greece here. We talked about that. Where are the other 26 earthquakes here in Greece? Today. Where are the other 26 earthquakes here in Greece today? Yeah. This one in northern Greece happened back on the 24th. a 4.5 in Magnolia, Greece. What happens to all the earthquakes here in Italy? Italy. We have a volcano over here, guys. We have a volcano here. Right here. Vesuvius volcanoes is causing earthquakes. Why are they not showing all the earthquakes here? Why are they not showing all the earthquakes here? This volcano is getting ready to blow. Why are they not showing them? I'd like to know. Because all around this volcano is a huge urbanized area. Close to 1 million people live over here around this volcano. When this volcano finally erupts, there are going to be many people that are injured and die. I would think the Italian people and everyone else around this world would like to know what is going on here. USGS, get your acts together. North central Italy here. 20 plus earthquakes here every day. Why are we not being told about it? Over here in northern Italy, to the right, the resort areas of Italy, and to the left, resort areas of Italy just south of the Alps. Earthquakes are happening. Earthquakes are happening up here in the Alps Mountains. In the Alps Mountains here. They're happening over here in Austria, in Germany, in Switzerland, and over here in France. I want to say there's 20 plus earthquakes over here in this region here. Why are we not being told about them? Between northern Italy, Austria, Germany, France, and Switzerland, there are over 20 earthquakes here. Why are we not being told about it? Over here in Spain, there's 7 earthquakes today. They range in size from tremors to minor earthquakes. A handful of those earthquakes are down here in southern Spain. Why are we not being told about it? Yeah, I'm very concerned. Over here in the south central part of the Atlantic Ocean on the Mid-Atlantic Fault, we have another 5.0 earthquake here. 6.2 miles deep. Again, the Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding. Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding. It's going like this. It's pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction. It's pushing Africa and South America. It's pushing Africa in an easterly direction. It's pushing South America in a southwestern direction. Up here in the North Atlantic, this earthquake here happened on the 23rd. Another 5.4 earthquake. This 4.7 also happened on the 23rd. Again, the Mid-Atlantic Fault is pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction. It's pushing Greenland, Canada, the United States, and northern Mexico in a southwesterly direction, causing earthquakes. It happens. Why is the USGS not reporting on all these earthquakes? Rarely, if ever, do they ever report any earthquakes here along the eastern seaboard. Yes, this week, they reported this 2.0 over here in Malbay, Canada. This also happened on the 23rd. This one here in Naples, Maine. Or I'm sorry, not Naples, Naples, Maine. 1.3 tremor. Just south there over here in Kingston, New Hampshire, 1.8 tremor. Further south here, Gladstone, New Jersey, 1.8 tremor. Further over here to the northwest, Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, 1.8. This particular earthquake here, northern Pennsylvania, was in the Alps Mountains, Eastern Continental Divide. This earthquake here in northern Canada I just talked about a minute ago, also on the Continental Divide, the Eastern Continental Divide. We go down here to southeastern Ohio, also on the Eastern Continental Divide. We have a 2.3 earthquake. 2.3 earthquake here. We go south. Tennessee here. Over here in the Tennessee seismic zone. I reported on this on Wednesday. This is a 2.4 earthquake here. 2.4 earthquake just south of Tracy City, Tennessee. Further south here in northwestern Georgia, also on the Eastern Continental Divide. 2.4 earthquake here in Lafayette, Georgia. Happening. On Wednesday, we talked about the New Madrid fault. I'm going to today talk about the New Madrid and the Cascade subduction zone. We're going to talk about earthquake preparedness today. Today, they're only showing one earthquake here in the New Madrid seismic zone. This 2.0 earthquake here in Steele, Missouri. 2.0 earthquake here in Steele, Missouri. It's sad to say. Look at all these other earthquakes here highlighted in yellow. These earthquakes happened this week. This is a 1.3. Pinhook, Missouri, that happened on Wednesday. Howardville, Missouri here. This earthquake happened on, actually it happened on Tuesday, 1.8 tremor. This is a 2.3 in Marston, Missouri. This earthquake happened on the 22nd. South here, Dell, Arkansas, a 2.0 earthquake. This happened on the 24th. We talked about these earthquakes yesterday, or I shouldn't say yesterday, on Wednesday. But there were a lot more earthquakes than this. This earthquake here in blue, I highlighted. Caraway, Arkansas, a 1.2 tremor. Where are the other earthquakes we reported on Wednesday? Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, we have over 200 earthquakes a day here on the New Madrid Fault. On the New Madrid Fault alone. Where are these other earthquakes, USGS? This earthquake here is Strawberry, Arkansas. This is a 1.7 tremor. Over 200 earthquakes a day, not just tremors, but minor earthquakes, 3.0 and large earthquakes here on the New Madrid Fault every day. As I said before, we are about to see an 8.0 major earthquake here on the New Madrid Fault, probably within the next 2 years. It might happen sooner. It could happen sooner. Just because the USBS doesn't want to show all the earthquakes doesn't mean it's not happening. I show you the data at least once a week. The New Madrid Fault is beginning to go. No doubt in my mind. Now, before we talk about what is actually going on, we talk about preparedness. I want to give you the winter storm warnings that Renee Seppi's putting up for us in the chat. For those of you that are not watching the chat, winter storm warnings been issued. Quad cities for Buchanan, Benton, Lynn, Iowa, Johnson, Keokuk, Washington, Jefferson, and Henry. Winter storm warning. Winter storm warning issued this evening. Quad cities, Iowa and Illinois, for Des Moines, Iowa, Van Buren, Lee, Henderson, Warren, Hancock, McDonough, Scotland, Clark. Winter storm warning issued. Aberdeen, South Dakota, for Edmonds, Falk, Hyde, Hand. Heavy snow expected. That is snow and blowing snow. Heavy snow is being expected. Each and every one of you that are in these areas, yes, I understand you may be traveling, going back home after your Thanksgiving holiday. If you're traveling in these storms, be very careful. I live in these areas. I know it can happen. As I've told most of you that have been here with me for the past 6.5 years, I used to live in Fargo, North Dakota. Right up here in Fargo, North Dakota. I've seen blizzards that last a week. I've seen blizzards that last 3 days. Snow and blowing snow for days and weeks on end. This is the area we're talking about. North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Michigan. All you folks need to be aware of what's going on. All of you folks need to be aware of what's going on. Winter storm warnings. Twin Cities, Chanhassen, Minnesota, Le Sueur, Rice, Minnesota. Heavy snow expected. When I lived in Fargo, lived in Fargo, North Dakota up here, my father and I used to check on an elderly woman in Rice, Minnesota. It was called Wild Rice at the time. Called Wild Rice. Rice, Minnesota is about an hour and 30 minutes away from northwest of Fargo. Or northeast of Fargo, I'm sorry. Northeast of Fargo, North Dakota. Wild Rice, Minnesota. This woman, I'm sorry to say, is no longer with us. We had very treacherous roadways. One time, one of my friends and I, one of my father's friends and I were there visiting someone else. We got stranded on the highway. My father and several other brethren came over and picked us up. Pulled my father's friend off the road, put his car back on the road, and we drove back to Fargo. That happens this time of year. Those of you who are out here, make sure you're safe. Make sure you're safe. It's winter storm now. These winter storms are going to continue to happen. Now, while we're talking about it, let me take down the USGS map here. I want to put this up for you. This is something that I came up with years ago. This is what you should have in your car. And even then, also in your house for winter preparedness. Okay? A cell phone charger on the left-hand side. Water up here on the top left. Cans of food. A first aid kit. Some kind of snow shovel, whether it be a square nose shovel or regular snow shovel. Have it. In the center top, batteries and flashlight. And a AM/FM weather radio. An AM/FM NOAA weather radio. Salt. Salt. Possibly even cat. I can't remember what they call it. Stuff you put, cat litter. Cat litter. Sand. Pea gravel. Put about 50 pounds of gravel or sand in your car to help for traction. If you end up going off the road, use it and pour it on at the front of your tire, the back of your tire to use as traction to get out of the snow bank. Okay? How about dog food and cat food and other pet food? And make sure you have water for your pets as well. And tools in your car to work on your car if you get stranded. Boots, shoes for weather. Boots and shoes for your weather, whether you have snow boots or whatever you have, make sure you have proper clothing. Make sure you have winter coats as well. Make sure every member of your family or anybody that's in your car has a heavy-duty winter coat. Minimum. These are minimums, guys. These are absolute minimums. Renee Steffi's going to continue to put up things in the chat here. She's going to put up storm watches and warnings here. She put another one up for winter storm warning issued today until November 30th. The Winter Weather Service in the Twin Cities are reporting Chanhassen, Minnesota, Watawan, Minnesota, Blue Earth, Waseca, Steele, heavy snow expected. Hurricane Heather says you can also use your floor mats in your car for traction. Absolutely can. Now, this particular handout that I have here doesn't show blankets as well. I would put at least one blanket for every person in the car. Make sure you have at least one blanket for every person in the car. In case. Stay warm out there. Stay warm out there. Things are not going to get any better. Things are not going to get any better for weeks, possibly months on end. This winter season for me back in Minnesota, North Dakota, lasts until May. Snow and blizzard conditions lasted until May. We saw a snowstorm one year in Fargo that happened in the middle of summer. First we had rain, then we had hail, and then we had snow. Middle of summer. Be prepared, guys. Be prepared. It happens. Things happen. All I can say is be prepared. Be prepared. Now, I want to talk about preparedness tonight. Okay? Specifically, I am talking about the pneumatic fault and the Cascadia tonight. Okay? What I'm going to talk about is very important. You might also want to take notes. You may also want to take notes here. This is very, very important. What I'm going to talk about today can save your life. It can very much save your life here. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do something here. Okay, I did it. Before I get started with this preparation idea, I want to ask you all for some help here. Folks, if you see our PayPal addresses flow by here, our Venmo still's not working. We're trying to still get our Venmo working again. We have 2 PayPal addresses. Guys, if you feel in your heart you can do it, please help support our program with our PayPal. So far here in the chat, we haven't had one super chat here in a long time. You can support our channel by putting super chats up here as well. We'd appreciate your help keeping this channel on the air. It costs about $253 just for bandwidth, just to buy bandwidth for this channel to keep us on the air. That doesn't include the utilities. That doesn't include the other utilities. All the prices are going up, as I can make sure that you also are sharing that burden. I know you are. Your prices are going out of the sky, literally. But we'd appreciate any of your help that you can help support this channel in any way you can. Also, you'll see our email address scrolling across the bottom of your screen. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas for this program, go over to our email address and send us your comments, questions, and ideas for this program. RLTNSPDEMA@gmail.com. Also, you see our mailing address here. Our mailing address is 504 Bethel Road, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. Inside your card or letter, talk to us about how you're preparing for disasters or emergencies in your own life. Tell us about it. We'd love to know. We'd love to know. Also, inside that card or letter, you can insert a check or even cash and mail it to us. Happens all the time. My dear friends Laura and John from Oregon State sent us a letter the other day. They sent us a card. They sent us a prepaid ATM card to help us. We greatly appreciate that. You can do that as well. Inside your card, we love cards and letters, guys. As I showed you this card the other day, yes, it was a Thanksgiving card. Beautiful Thanksgiving card. Ken Zoe just sent us a $10 super chat. Thank you for that. We appreciate it, Ken. God bless you for that. I'm giving you an EMA sticker on your super chat. I'm also giving you a thumbs up as well. Thank you for your help. We greatly appreciate it. Laura and her husband, John, sent us a card. Here's the message. Also right here is a picture of their cat. Beautiful barn cat. And it says, Dear Ron and Carol, Happy Thanksgiving. We hope you have a wonderful day with lots to be thankful for. Sincerely, John and Laura. Above one of our barn cat timber. On the back of the card, they have another scene here showing their driveway. Their driveway full of trees and leaves on the ground. The other day I thanked her for that. Laura and John are here on the chat most days. I'm sure they're with their family today. We appreciate that as well. My dear friend Rob is also here tonight. He's one of our moderators. I was on the phone with him about 40 minutes before we came on the air. I told him then I was hoping to get on the air by 3. By 4 o'clock, I'm sorry. By 4 o'clock Eastern time. I got here about 20 minutes after that. Rob 52 just gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you, Rob. God bless you. I'm also giving you an EMA sticker. I'm also giving you a thumbs up. God bless each of you. We love you and appreciate you very much. We love you and appreciate you very much. Also, if you will, if you appreciate our program at any point in time, give us a thumbs up. Let YouTube know and understand that you like this program. YouTube looks at thumbs up and says, oh my word, maybe we ought to let other people watch this program. Yeah. If YouTube doesn't see thumbs up, they ignore our program and don't show it to anybody else. That's very unfortunate. We used to get anywhere from 5 to 1,000 videos, or not videos, 1,000 up to 500 to 1,000 viewers on a program every day. Now we might get 300. We might. By the next day, another 100, 200 people watch it. But we appreciate it. We appreciate it because we work long and hard to show you what's going on and to bring you information on what's happening and how you can be prepared. Renee Sevi just put us up another storm warning issued today by the Weather Service out of Cleveland, Ohio for southern Erie County, Crawford, heavy lake effect snow occurring around Lake Erie. Unreal. That storm, guys, that we're having now was on the west coast. It's pushed east now. We also had a very heavy storm coming out of central Canada and going all the way down south into Texas. Houston area. That storm is also pushed east, and Florida is even receiving colder temperatures and heavy rain and possible snow in northern Florida. We may see snow here on Sunday. But we will possibly just see rain. Up in the northern tier of the United States, they're seeing snow. Northern Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, some parts of Oklahoma, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa, Indiana, and the rest of the upper eastern part of the United States are going to see snow, blowing snow, and very, very bad winds. Be prepared, guys. It's happening right now. You need to be prepared. Heidi Petrick just gave us another $10 super chat. Thank you, Heidi. I'm giving you a thumbs up. I'm also giving you an EMA sticker in your super chat. Thank you so much, Heidi. God bless you. We appreciate that very much. Let's talk about what is going to happen on the New Madrid and the Cascade subduction area. Earthquakes, guys. The unfortunate news with earthquakes or any kind of storm, anything else going on, the possibility of power outages. The possibility of power outages here. But also, if you're not prepared, you'll be in trouble. No preparedness, no money. Nothing has changed in the past 200 to 300 years. When you think about earthquakes, it's likely you envision the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and California. It's no wonder. Thanks to the Cascade subduction zone, the San Andreas Fault, California, Washington, Oregon, even parts of California and Nevada. You guys are going to experience earthquakes. Big time earthquakes. Renee Sevi just gave us another $6 or $9.99 $10 super chat. Thank you, Renee. God bless you for that. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Most people will experience earthquakes in the lower 48 states. Most people are going to experience earthquakes in the lower 48 states, but As you've seen earlier in our program, Alaska's got hit with hundreds of earthquakes, and they just got through having a 6.2 earthquake 37 miles northwest of Anchorage. 6.2, very strong quake. Yes, there's damage in Alaska tonight. Now, of course, we think about Anchorage. They suffered damage. In 2018, they had a 7.0 earthquake in Anchorage. Since then, they have experienced over 6,100 earthquakes. Since then, they've experienced 6,100 earthquakes. Aftershocks. Aftershocks, guys. According to almanac.com, over 300, possibly even as much as 500,000 earthquakes have been recorded in California and Nevada alone since 1836. 500 up to 500,000 earthquakes in California and Nevada alone since 1836, including 10 out of the 15 largest earthquakes in the United States. 10 of the 15 largest earthquakes in the United States. Think about that. If you live on the West Coast, you are bound to experience an earthquake, typically minor earthquakes for the most part, and tremors from time to time. But what about the rest of the United States? Of course, there's Alaska, that we've recently been reminded about. They happen. They're going to continue to happen. The 6.2 earthquake here in north of Anchorage was just waiting to happen. We've had multiple 5.0s, 6.0s, 7.0s, 8.0s, and even up to 9.4 earthquakes over on the northwestern part of the world, the northwestern part of the Pacific Basin. Large earthquakes. That seismic energy moves over to Alaska. I still believe we have seismic energy that has moved over into Alaska that hasn't presented itself yet, but it will. It will. Some people might think that just because you live in the Midwest or on the East Coast, you're not susceptible to earthquakes. Wrong. Wrong. As we reported, we have earthquakes on the East Coast because the center part of the Atlantic fault is expanding, pushing the northern continent, the northern craton, in a south-southwesterly direction. Greenland, Canada, the United States, and northern Mexico in a south-southwesterly direction. We're having earthquakes on the East Coast. We reported on them in the past. We're going to continue to report on them going on in the future. Now, while we don't necessarily hear about a lot of earthquakes in the center part of the country, the United States, the New Madrid fault line has caused substantial seismic disasters in the Midwest. We report on at least 200 earthquakes every day that occur on the New Madrid fault. 200 earthquakes, tremors, actually, let's back up, microquakes, tremors, and minor earthquakes, and small 3.0 upwards of a moderate 4.5 earthquake on the New Madrid fault. Small, minor tremors and microquakes happen every day. USGS does not report it. Rarely do they ever talk about it. The pneumatic fault is likely to pop in the next 2 years. It's highly likely that in the next week, months, or even the next year, we're likely to have another large to major earthquake here in the United States, and of course, across and around the world, due to the moving of the tectonic plates. The tectonic plates around the world are constantly moving. Constantly moving. What do you need to know about the pneumatic fault and the Cascadia? We talk about it frequently. How do you prepare for a major natural disaster? Let's run through some things here. Okay? What do you need to know? How do you prepare for a major disaster? Let's run through some things here. Let's think about and run through some things and ideas here. You're going to need to know because it is going to happen. Many of you live in Washington. Many of you live in Oregon. Many of you live in California. A great many people, millions of people, live up and down the entire pneumatic fault. From Illinois and Ohio, Indiana, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, and also Mississippi on the pneumatic fault. And all of these states on the pneumatic fault move every day. They move substantially every day. Let's give you a brief history of the pneumatic fault. Yes, we talk about it at least once a week, but let me give you a brief history. The pneumatic seismic zone, as it's known as, is located in the Midwestern region of the United States. Due to its location, any seismic activity from the fault line could affect more than 15 million people over 8 states, including Alabama, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, Tennessee, Louisiana, all over, up and down. It is estimated that the first major pneumatic fault line earthquake occurred nearly 6 million years ago. The first major pneumatic earthquake occurred 6 million years ago. While the United States tried to rip itself apart between Memphis and St. Louis, thankfully, no one lived in those areas at the time. The most notable pneumatic fault line earthquake happened while the United States was being populated. It occurred over 214 years ago. December and January 2015-2016. There was an article written in Forbes that tells us about during this time, the earthquake impacted most of the eastern half of the United States. When the pneumatic fault went off, that earthquake impacted most of the eastern half of the United States. December 16, 1911. U.S. citizens felt the earthquake over 1 million square miles away. It was 1811. 1811, my bad. Citizens here in the United States on the eastern half felt the quake over 1 million square miles away. It was noticeable that it startled President Madison in the White House over 900 miles away. It rang church bells in Boston, Massachusetts, 1,300 miles away. Closer to the fault line, the Mississippi River stopped flowing and started flowing backwards for 7 minutes. brand new waterfalls were formed. Sadly, the quake nearly destroyed the town of New Madrid, Missouri. It swallowed people whole. It also activated geysers in the earth. When the Mississippi River started flowing backwards, it filled a huge canyon in the earth that is now called Reelfoot Lake. The reports have since reported that more than 2,000 earthquakes occurred in 5 months. And people discovered that most of the crevices opening up during an earthquake ran from the north to the south. Fissures opened up. When the earth began moving, they would chop down trees in an east-west direction to hold on to the other sides of the fault, the other sides of the fissures that opened up. They used those fallen trees as bridges to get from one side of the fissure to the other. 2 major New Madrid fault line earthquakes occurred shortly after the historic earthquake event in 1811. The second one hit on January 23rd. The third one took place on February 7th, 1812. February 7th, 1812. According to Smithsonian Magazine, each New Madrid earthquake had a magnitude of at least 7.5 or greater. Each New Madrid earthquake had a magnitude of at least 7.5 or greater, making the earthquakes 3 of the most powerful earthquakes in the continental United States, shaking an area 10 times larger than that affected by the magnitude 7.8 San Francisco earthquake in 1906. Imagine that. Let's talk about the current state of the New Madrid Fault. Many years have passed since any damaging earthquake activity has been reported on the New Madrid Fault line. And thankfully, no one has since been harmed due to the earthquake since. Yet. I want to emphasize yet. It is still possible. These earthquakes are still possible. I want to make that perfectly clear. These very damaging, very deadly earthquakes can still occur. Does this mean we're out of the woods? Heavens no. It does not mean we are out of the woods because presently earthquakes are ramping up on the New Madrid Fault. Dr. Robert Herman, professor of geophysics at St. Louis University's Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, stated, quote, "We cannot predict earthquakes." Really? We're getting better at it. Hurricane Heather just gave us another $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Heather. God bless you. We really appreciate that. I'm giving you a $5. I'm giving you a EMA sticker for your super chat. I'm also giving you a thumbs up. Thank you, Heather. God bless you. Heather is another one of our mods here on this channel, guys. Heather is a very, very, very hallowed member of our channel. She helped start this channel. She's our weather girl. That's why she's called Hurricane Heather. She's awesome. She's my sister, really. No, she's not blood, but she's my sister nonetheless. And we love her. Everybody here loves her. She's great. Dr. Herman said we cannot predict earthquakes. but we can forecast them. We expect these earthquakes to happen in the future, with smaller earthquakes being more common than rare large ones. But there's no direct predictions yet. Rather, an estimate of likelihood. Despite having incredible technology that monitors earthquake activity, there is a possibility of forecasting earthquakes. Not exactly predicting, but forecasting when will happen. It is obvious. It's obvious that due to the tectonic plate activity, near the fault line, the Craton Edge, the North American fault line, the earthquake will occur again. He's talking about the New Madrid fault. The New Madrid earthquake is going to happen again. And it's very likely that the New Madrid earthquake is going to be very powerful. Upwards of an 8.0 earthquake. Upwards of an 8.0 earthquake. Okay? We don't know when it's going to happen exactly. We don't know whether it will happen tomorrow or even 2 years from now exactly. Scientists used to think that it could happen 25 years from now. Now everybody's up in arms. Everybody's up in arms. They know it's going to happen. The geologic record is really the strongest piece of evidence about the New Madrid region. As we have studied remnants of the 1811 quake, scientists have determined that this region suffered similar powerful upheavals in around 2350 BC before Christ. Yeah. 2350 BC, 900 AD, and again in about 1450 AD. To some, this indicates this area has a history of massive earthquakes, and that we're already 200 years out from the last one. Over 200 years since the last one. 214 years. It's been 214 years ago. The New Madrid fault line is still active. And now millions of people live on it. Millions of people live on it. What does that mean? People live on top of it. Each and every one of those homes, each and every one of those families, each and every one of those businesses are on top of the fault. And those people, those homes and businesses are susceptible to catastrophic destruction. Catastrophic destruction that's going to occur due to the quake. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. For this reason. If you live within a few hundred miles of the fault line, meaning to the west over by Ozark Folk Center, Arkansas, or even western Texas, Nacogdoches, Texas, Alabama or Florida, Washington or Missouri, California, Oregon. It's very important right now to equip yourself with basic earthquake preparedness kits, basic earthquake preparedness skills to help you stay alive in the event of an emergency that's going to happen. Basic earthquake preparedness skills. Let's talk about that. It's not often we have to think about what to do in the event of a quake. Those of you in Washington, Oregon, and California, you have quakes all the time. Some you might not even know about. Some of you might not even feel that you're having quakes every day. Especially in the Midwest. From Canada south, Texas, and the eastern half of the United States. The reality is this: an earthquake can occur just about anywhere across the entire United States or around the world. That's why occasionally I talk about earthquakes around the world. This is why it's so important to stay prepared no matter where you live. No matter where you live or what you do, stay prepared. Stay prepared, guys. This is an absolute necessity. Stay prepared. Stay prepared. Stay prepared. Let me give you a quick refresher course on how everyone should prepare in the event of an earthquake. I shouldn't say even in the event. Earthquake is going to happen. Teach your children earthquake safety drills. Teach your children earthquake safety drills. Most kids are taught in school how to stop, drop, and roll in case of a fire. Yet not many know what to do in the event of an earthquake. If an earthquake occurs, the Red Cross advises children and adults to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop underneath the table or desk. Drop underneath the table or desk. Put something between you and the roof. Put something between your ceiling and you, in case something drops down on top of you. The sturdy table or desk will prevent you from being hurt. Drop down on the floor to prevent falling down. Drop down to your knees to prevent you getting knocked off your feet. Cover yourself with a sturdy piece of furniture, being a table or desk, or anything else that's sitting there on the floor. Drop underneath it. Hold onto the legs of that piece of furniture. Hold on to the legs of the piece of furniture until there is self-shaking. Then I would advise you to do this. Stay there for 15 minutes. Stay there for 15 minutes. That means staying there until the earth really stops shaking. You can get an immediate aftershock immediately after one primary event happens. After the preliminary primary earthquake happens, aftershocks can happen almost immediately. So stay underneath that heavy piece of furniture, underneath that desk or the table. Okay? This is going to protect you from debris that can fall on you. And then hold on to the legs of the table or the desk to ensure you stay safe. Make sure your entire body, your head and body, stay underneath the desk or table. Make sure your children also hold on to you and the table as well. Once the earthquake stops, safely move yourself away from unstable structures. Once the earthquake stops, move yourself away from any unstable structures, light posts, electrical wires, power poles, fixtures, gas tanks. Stay away from them. Then you need to expect and prepare for potential aftershocks. Aftershocks can sometimes be even more powerful. Yes, more powerful. There is a 30% chance of more powerful earthquake after the initial quake. You will definitely get aftershocks. Some of them will be less, some of them you won't even feel. But in the event there's a larger quake, make sure you go for cover. Stay away from unstable structures. It's not uncommon for a second rattling to occur after initial quake. In the case of the New Madrid earthquake after 1811, an aftershock measuring 7.4 struck the next day. An aftershock measuring 7.4 struck the next day. Be sure to stay calm and remain in your secure location, like I said, for at least 15 minutes after the initial quake passes. When it's safe to move, vacate the building you're in and stay away from buildings or other unstable structures. Renee Sevi says, don't just rush outside. There could be falling debris. Absolutely. Stay underneath your location, your desk or table, for at least 15 minutes. Then after the shaking stops, go to a place away from the structure that you were in. Be aware of this. Aftershocks will still occur for days, weeks, and possibly even months after the earthquake. Be aware of that. This will happen. I promise you, this will happen. I've seen it. I've seen it, folks. Be aware that aftershocks can still occur for days, weeks, or months after the quake. Assess your home to make sure it's still safe. Assess your home to make sure it's safe to stay in before you move back in. What do you think happened back in 2019, December 26th and December 28th? Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico had 2 man-made earthquakes. I'm not going to talk about the reasons today, right now. I've talked about them in the past. But on December 26th and December 28th, 2011. I'm sorry, 2019. December 26th and December 28th, 2019. Puerto Rico had 2 man-made earthquakes, an 8.0 and an 8.4. An 8.0 and an 8.4 earthquake. December 26th, 8.0. 8.4, December 28th. Happened. The December 28th quake was more powerful than the first 8.0. 2 days later, they made massive damage. Those 2 earthquakes created massive damage all over Puerto Rico, especially in southwestern Puerto Rico. Damaged homes, damaged buildings, businesses. They even knocked down, the quake actually on the 28th, knocked down a natural-made structure, which was a great big huge sandstone arch on the beaches of southwestern Puerto Rico. Huge sandstone structure crumbled on December 28th. Earthquakes often knock down power lines and can even leave entire cities without electricity for days or weeks. In the Puerto Rico earthquake, it knocked power out for months. If you live near the New Madrid fault line or any other earthquake-prone areas such as Cascadia, southwestern Canada, Washington, Oregon, and also California. Make sure you have extra power sources on hand. Make sure you have extra power sources on hand, such as this. This will keep your cell phone powered for days and possibly weeks. If you keep this in the sun, this is a solar power bank. This is a solar panel. Keeping this in the sun will make sure your phone is charged for weeks, not months. You can get solar panels that power solar batteries, otherwise known as solar generators. The solar panel and your solar batteries are known as solar generators. You can get those as well. We have a couple small solar batteries here. We have solar panels here constantly charging those batteries. I highly recommend each of you getting those. You will be blessed for doing so, I promise. Make sure you have power on hand, including flashlights such as this. This is one small flashlight. This is a larger flashlight. I have these here on my desk to show you right now. Make sure you have plenty of batteries as well. Make sure you keep plenty of batteries as well. You're going to need them. We recommend lanterns and flashlights with batteries as opposed to candles. Lanterns and flashlights are more safe in the event of an earthquake or an event of an aftershock. Solar or hand-powered hand crank devices such as the NOAA AM FM radio that we have here. I've shown you that in the past. Solar-powered or hand crank devices are best. Having a battery-powered or solar-powered cell phone charger I showed you is a great idea. Keep yourself equipped with food and water. Equip yourself with food and water. This will keep you alive. You can't last longer than like 3 days without water. Food, if you're going to survive and be worth of anything good to yourself or anybody else, you need to have something to eat. You need to eat something nutritious, something with protein. That way you have the power and energy to go about your business, to help other people, or even help your family. Make sure you do that. Earthquakes are incredibly destructive. If an earthquake happens near you, it's likely that aside from taking out the electricity, it could crumble grocery stores and water purifying plants. You'll be up the river without a paddle if you don't have those things. For this reason, we firmly believe that everyone should keep a minimum of 3 months' worth of non-perishable food. As I said, we firmly believe that everyone should keep a minimum of 3 months' worth of non-perishable food and gravity-powered water filtration system in your home. Gravity-powered water filtration system in your home. Investing in a water purifier will ensure that you continue to have safe drinking water, no matter how long you are without access to a clean water source. Equip yourself for proper home cleanup. Home destruction is bound to occur after a sizable earthquake. Having a few tools on hand to make quick repairs to your home or even your car is very important. Even more essential is having a cleanup kit, such as gasoline. Gasoline. Think about that. This cleanup kit will help you pick up any sort of chemicals such as gasoline. A cleanup kit will help you pick up such things as gasoline and any other chemicals, or even flammable liquids in your home. Cat litter, sawdust. It's best that you have on protective clothing on hand as well. Gloves, boots, jeans, heavy-duty jeans, denim, long-sleeve shirts, hats to protect your head, or even helmets. Over here on the other side of my desk, I have my helmet here. As for cleaning supplies, carpet cleaners, buckets, hoses, shop vacs are very valuable. They're very helpful while you clean up large messes. They're going to be essential. These things are going to be essential. Uncertainty is the reason we must always stay prepared. After all, most of us will not go through our daily life expecting something to happen, especially something as devastating as an earthquake, to shake up our lives and even to turn our world upside down. It's our hope that you will use this information provided to ensure that both you and your family stay safe, no matter what happens in your home or your area or region in the future. Use the information we've given you to make sure you have whatever is necessary to protect yourself and help yourself in the event of an earthquake or any kind of emergency. Please stay safe, stay alert, stay prepared. Your story is going to be very impressive. The story you're going to be able to write after your emergency happens is going to be very impressive. Again, I want to remind you, 214 years ago, the New Madrid Fault burst open, causing the Mississippi River to stop flowing. Flowed backwards for 7 minutes, creating a huge lake called Realtor Lake that's still there today. I've done extensive research on this. I've been part of 3 disaster drills in the New Madrid area, and 3 disaster drills in the Cascadia region. I have participated in many emergency earthquake drills and other emergency drills around this country. I've spoken to emergency managers up and down the fault lines on the West Coast and also on the New Madrid Fault. These experts, these emergency managers are well equipped. They know what they're doing. But the fact of the matter is this: their mission to keep you safe is only going to be as effective as you listen and monitor what they're saying. Listening and monitoring what they're saying. You need to take actions on your own. You need to take what they say, not with a grain of salt, but with real reality. Take it with real reality that's going to happen. Then you will be better ready to cope with it. Experts are saying the New Madrid Fault is going to be an 8.0 plus earthquake. They're saying it's going to be an 8.0 plus earthquake. The Cascadia earthquake is going to be a 9.0, 10.0 magnitude earthquake. Most of those communities that have been devastated by those earthquakes in the past are still there today. One emergency manager in Arkansas told me that if the quake happened again, they expected, as most communities do, their community and region is going to be devastated again. Tens of thousands of people will be unalived. The question that cries out to be answered is this: why? Why? Nothing has really changed in the same area for over 100 years, 200 years. The same roads are there that were in place back then. The only difference is that those roads were horse and buggy trails that have now been paved over. Those roads were horse and buggy trails that have now been paved over. What does that mean? That means those roads are being traveled frequently, every day, hundreds of times a day. They were horse and buggy trails 200 years ago. Now we have cars. Millions of people drive up and down those roads. Millions of people live and operate all over the fault line. What happens when the quake happens again? Those roads will be torn up with fissures that open up. No one's going to be able to travel on them to get from community to community. Assistance will probably not arrive for days, if not even weeks, because there's only one way in, through aircraft, helicopter drops. Runways are going to be torn up so airplanes won't be able to get in. Fire trucks won't be able to get in. Who's going to fight a fire when there's only water enough on the fire trucks to just start to put it out? Helicopters are going to have to make water drops to put out fires. Helicopters are going to have to come in with food and water because the roads will be torn up. There's not going to be any way other than to travel at all. One town had a plan. One town that I spoke to had a plan to build a bridge over Reelfoot Lake. We talked substantially about this plan. The bridge over the lake had been talked about by the city council over and over again. As of today, I did that disaster drill first in 2011. We've had 2 other disaster drills since. As of today, 14 years later, nothing has been done because there's no money to build that bridge. It's not even known whether that bridge would survive the quake. So when that earthquake hits on the New Matter Fault, what happens? And it will. The town will have thousands of people killed in that area, that one area. As I've talked about before, that emergency manager also runs a town's funeral home. He's a county, what do they call it, medical doctor. He does autopsies. He prepares people for funerals. He has 2 large semi-trucks parked on his property with refrigeration capabilities for the bodies that will most assuredly happen. There will not be anywhere to bury the bodies or even prepare the bodies for proper burial. They don't have the space or the equipment to accomplish the job. As for preparing for the larger devastating quake, almost no one is prepared. Almost no one's prepared. Why? Let me tell you something. In 2014, FEMA issued us an edict as emergency managers. FEMA issued us a question of only emergency managers throughout the United States. What emergency managers had a 72-hour kit? 2014. What emergency managers had a 72-hour kit? Sometime later, we got answered. 25% of managers, emergency managers throughout this country, had a 72-hour kit. Imagine that. If only 25% of emergency managers throughout this country had a 72-hour kit, that means probably less than 25% of the people throughout this country have emergency preparedness kits. Fact. That's a fact. Sad. It's sad. What am I asking you to do? I'm asking you today to please pay attention to the guidance I've given you over the past 6.5, 7 years. April 3rd next year will be 7 years that I've been talking about this. I'm asking each and every one of you to follow my advice. Get an emergency preparedness kit together immediately. Get your preparedness kits ready immediately. It doesn't matter whether it's an earthquake, doesn't matter whether it's a hurricane, doesn't matter whether it's a shooting in your local area, whether your water supply has been contaminated, or whether there's been a run on your stores, your store has no more food, or whatever emergency it is, fire, flooding. Get your preparedness kits together immediately. You're going to need them. You are going to need them. I have had many people over the last 6.5 years tell me, I don't have the space for an emergency kit. Yes, you do. Behind and under furniture, in your closets, in your storage spaces, in your home. Yes, you do have areas where you can store your emergency food and supplies. That is if you want to. You gotta wanna. You gotta wanna, guys. I'm asking you to do it now. I'm asking you to do it now. We have Christmas coming up. You might say, I don't have much money. I want to buy Christmas presents. Turn this Christmas into a preparedness Christmas. When you buy supplies for your next of kin, when you buy supplies for your children, your spouses, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your brothers and sisters, and your parents, get emergency supplies. Get emergency supplies for all of them. And then tell them, give them the admonishment to make sure that they start putting together emergency kits. Tell them how to do it. You got to hear. If you need encouragement, go to our Friday programs where it says emergency preparedness in the title. Go there and review what we talked about. That's why I do these programs. I keep them here on YouTube. Some creators delete their programs after they've done them. I don't. I keep them here for a reason. To be a valuable resource for all of you. Okay? A lot of people live up and down the faults, including the New Madrid and the Cascadia. There are a lot of families that live there now that are low income. They don't have the money to buy anything except supplies for day-to-day living. That's all. Most people today here in the United States and around the world live paycheck to paycheck at best. Law enforcement and fire protection will be almost non-existent after an emergency happens, because police and fire rescue forces will have their hands full and will be overwhelmed at best. Residents, including you and I, will have to do our best with what we have. We will have to do the best with what we have on our own for a very long time. A lot of people are going to die because of damages. A lot of people are going to get killed, either immediately or shortly after the disaster. No food or water or being injured. These are the unfortunate facts. These are the unfortunate facts. Do we have any questions? Yes, Nova Scotia Rich is saying there are a lot of capitals in the chat. Yes, I've seen that. I have not been able to actually take the time to stop and say, don't use capital letters, because YouTube might take this channel down. When they see capital letters, YouTube sees that as yelling. Be very careful with that, guys. Be very careful. Renee Sevy's been putting up emergency information on the chat. Winter storm warnings and floods and fires as well. Tornado warnings too. The south and southeast part of the United States are going to have very bad weather. Thunderstorms, possibility of tornadoes, heavy rain, and snow. Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. Brothers and sisters, I want you to be safe. I want you to be safe. Yes, Paul Apostle, HF9XZ or ZY it is, I guess. Yes, we have earthquakes. 2 volcanoes, and what do you say, 3 Antarctica melting with fourth with Yellowstone erupts, 3 days of darkness. Yellowstone's not going to erupt. I promise you, Yellowstone is not going to erupt for a very long time. It's not going to happen. Paul Apostle, we want you here. I appreciate you being here. We appreciate you a lot. We appreciate everyone that's here. We want you here. What I'm telling you now, Yellowstone is not going to erupt anytime soon. But Cascadia is going to happen. And also, you can darn well better believe the New Madrid earthquake is going to happen very soon. It's going to happen. Paul Apostle says over 100 volcanoes are erupting now. No, I would dare say 40, 45 at best. Yes, we have volcanoes around the world that are moving. They're steaming, but they're not erupting. 40, 45 volcanoes around the world are erupting. I check it every day. But Yellowstone is not going to erupt for a very long time. The only thing happening in Yellowstone are tremors. Tremors. 1.0 to 1.9 tremors. Occasionally we'll see a 2.3, 2.4 earthquake, but as I stated in other programs, you're not going to see Yellowstone erupt until we have consistent 4.5 moderate quakes and larger. Larger 4.5 and larger earthquakes being upwards of 5.0 to 5.5 earthquakes consistently hitting Yellowstone. Consistently hitting Yellowstone. We're not going to see a volcano erupt without a 5.0 earthquake at all. We're not going to see a volcanic eruption unless we have a 5.0 earthquake or larger. That happens. Every time we see a volcanic eruption, it happens with a 5.0 earthquake. Yellowstone is not having any of those earthquakes consistently. Occasionally, Yellowstone will get a 4.5, that's about it. But off to the west, Hebgen Lake, that's a totally different story. Back in 1959, Hebgen Lake, west of West Yellowstone, had a 7.1 earthquake. Now they're saying that earthquake was actually an 8.0. Hebgen Lake, it's on a fault. It's on a fault. It has nothing to do with volcanoes or anything else. It's on a fault. That's why that earthquake hit. But Yellowstone is not going to erupt anytime soon. Yes, we have volcanoes off the coast of Oregon. Yes, they do. But again, Yellowstone is not going to erupt. Yellowstone is not going to erupt unless we see those other earthquakes happening. I will tell you when Yellowstone looks like it's going to erupt. I monitor it frequently on a day-to-day basis, and when something happens or changes, I will, as soon as the information becomes available, I'll tell you about it. I promise you that. I check information on a daily basis, sometimes many times a day. Okay? Okay? I check it all the time. I want you to be prepared. That's why we're first on the air. We came on the air 6.5 years ago. We're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're here for everyone. Okay? Now in closing, I played a audio for you of one of my friends about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is about joy. Thanksgiving is about thanking everybody that you know, including your family. Thanks for what they do for you. What you have done for everybody else. What everybody else has done for you. Being thankful, being very grateful to the Lord for what He's given us. Folks, we're now in what I call the trilogy of the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. New Year's is not that spiritual a holiday for most people. The reason I brought New Year's in is because of this. On New Year's, we tend to analyze what we've done over the last year. Figure out where we've been, what we want to do going forward. I think of it as a trilogy of holidays. 1, giving thanks. 2, on Christmas, also honoring Jesus Christ, giving thanks for Jesus Christ in our lives. 3rd, figuring out where we've been and see where we want to go. The trilogy of the holidays. We had Thanksgiving. Think now about what the Lord has given you and where you want to go. Think about preparedness for Christmas as well. Also thanking Jesus Christ for what He's done for us. Jesus Christ has helped us. He's helped us. That we're here on this earth. He died for us. Lamb's Light is here. Thank you for Lamb's Light being here. Lamb's Light lives over here near me here in North Carolina. Renee Seppi also here. Rebecca the Explorer also here in North Carolina. I appreciate them very much. Think what Jesus Christ has done for us. He's died for us. He's prepared a way that we might live together with Him and our Heavenly Father in heaven. Think about that. Living together with us and our friends, our family in heaven once we leave this life. Brothers and sisters, I think about that almost on a daily basis as well. I'm looking very much forward to being with you next to me in heaven. I want to clap you on the back. I want to put my arms around you and hold you. And look at you and I and say, I love you. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping me. I love all of you. I've gone to a book of Philemon in the New Testament. There's only one chapter. I'm going to verses 20 through 21, actually 20 through 22 here. This is Paul's epistle to Philemon. I, Paul, have written it with my hand. I will repay it, albeit I do not say to thee how thou owest unto me even thine own self besides. Yea, brother, let me have joy of thee in the Lord. Refresh my bowels in the Lord. Having confidence in thy obedience, I write unto thee, knowing that thou wilt also do more than I say. Brothers and sisters, let's follow the Lord's guidance. Let's follow the Lord's guidance. Let's do what the Lord would have us do. Let's be true stewards in the Lord's kingdom. Let's be true stewards in the Lord's kingdom. Let's know what the Lord wants us to do and then do it. Let's do what the Lord wants us to do and then just do it. Okay? I care about each one of you. Carol and I pray for each one of you on a daily basis. That's a fact too. I'm sure she's monitoring this channel right now. She might not be in the chat, but she's monitoring this channel all the time. Brothers and sisters, we love you. We care about you. We also love our Savior and Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Follow him. Read your scriptures. When you have emergency preparedness kits, make sure you have a set of scriptures you can have in your preparedness kit. Make sure you have a set of scriptures in your preparedness kit as well. Read the scriptures. You'll become closer to God than anywhere else by reading the scriptures and prayer. Remember that. Brothers and sisters, I love you. I leave my testimony with you that I know the Lord lives. He hears and answers our prayers. God bless you all. I'm as light. No, I'm over in Morganton. I'm nowhere near Concord. I'm in Morganton. I'm over here on the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. 492 or 392 miles west of Aveyah Beach. I say that most times when I open up this program. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. Stand grateful for what you have. Stand grateful for those that you have with you, your friends and neighbors and your family. Stay close to your family. Your family will be with you in heaven. I want my family near me, and all of you are also my family. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. We come on the air Monday through Friday from between 4 and 5 p.m. weekdays. We try to take Saturdays and Sundays off, but not always. If something happens on a Saturday, Sunday, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. We also come on the air with our Sunday school class about 12:30 noon. Come follow me, the Savior said. Come follow me, the Savior said. Every Sunday we come on the air and talk about our Savior Jesus Christ and the things that he wants us to do. Join us here with Come Follow Me, the Savior said, this Sunday, just about 12:30 noon. God be with you. until we meet again. We'll see you after the next side. God bless. See you then.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you.